I just saw you. I didn't know you had a daughter until I saw the video you just posted.
Yes. I mean, I didn't even send you the album by accident, so
Well,
I didn't send the ultrasound.
No. So, how old is your daughter?
A little over 3 months.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Has that changed your life?
Drastically.
I mean, obviously, besides like waking up, but has it like some people? I mean, listen, I have a son that's 18. I had him when I was, well, he's about to be 18. I had him when I was 18. So I had him when I was 18. But you know, it was so long ago. I couldn't like. I just was like trying not to be poor and be homeless. You know,
Understandable.
so like I don't know, like what does that do for you, like mentally?
It's weird. I used to look at like parents when they would say like memeable, like corny, basic shit about kids. I'm like, all right, I'm sure it's that
Like,
way.
we get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Like,
but it makes me stop. It like reminds me of joy. Just like just looking at her makes me stop where I never would have stopped. Like that's the surface level of how it's changed my life. It's like little moments. I lacked little moments in my life until her. Of course, she's the biggest moment.
but just a bunch of little moments all day.
She has created little moments in my life that I never had before, and like makes me reobserve everything. Like I sound like the corny parent now that I'm sounding like I'm walking her in a stroller, looking at her, and she's looking up at trees, and I'm like, fucking trees.
This is amazing.
Remember
Trees are
Remember
lit.
those?
Yeah.
And she is just amazed by shit. So I don't know if it's selfish to say this, but it also has allowed me to like be reintroduced to so much things within these 3 months of watching her observe other shit that I've had around me forever.
Right.
Like it makes me even appreciate shit a bit more. Like just her curiosity of everything makes me feel weird.
Do you feel like, because I always say to myself, I'm like, okay, I go to New York City, like when I go to New York, I'm always like, I like it, but I can never fucking live here. This is fucking insane. Like,
I say the same thing about LA.
really?
Yeah.
So I go to New York and I'm like, everyone's rubbing on each other. I mean, I appreciate everyone's on a fucking grind. They're going to work. They're fucking just, you know, mission to wherever they got to go. But I'm always like, I could never, like, I'm sure raising a kid in New York, you're raising a strong fucking kid no matter what, because they got to deal with shit that nobody else in the U.S. really has to deal with in terms of just going to school. Or
Yeah, for sure.
Going to the grocery store or whatever. Would you
Public
like,
transportation makes you a man,
having
or
a
woman.
daughter? Are you like, we might need to get like out the city a little bit?
I mean, it's such a different New York than the one I know. Like she would be raised in a way different New York. But yes, it has crossed my mind, and my entire life, I was never going to leave New York, New Jersey. Jersey was as far as, you know, I just bought a crib in Jersey. That's as far as I was going to venture off.
Right.
It's changed within these 3 months.
Because you're like, huh, maybe Atlanta's not so bad.
And it was funny. Let me name drop. Pardon if I dropped the name. I was talking with Al Branch when we went down.
Shout out to my guy Al.
We went down to Atlanta to shoot some stuff, I think, for BET, and we used his studio, him and Tez's studio. And he was telling me, he's like, I was in Queens my whole life. Like, I never wanted to leave. I was never going to leave. Even when the music industry started to leave New York, I was holding strong. And he said, my daughters, nah. I had to get out. Like, the schools are better here. I love being able to just go pick them up, drive off. Like, they're around fresh air all the time. Like, they can just explore. Like, it's just a different perspective. And I feel him on that. I think it could happen. LA, no, because I think LA is just the same as New York, just with palm trees and,
well, there's the valley. The valley's
cokeheads.
nice. The valley's nice.
Well, I was always shitting on LA, not LA the city, LA the transplant LA, not LA.
Oh yeah, transplant LA's obnoxious.
But that's where, if I were to move to LA at that time, I would have been around transplant LA.
For sure.
Then I got to know a lot of people that grew up in LA, grew up in the Valley, and I saw a whole nother side of it where I was like, okay, I understand why people
LA's
think
great.
this is the greatest city in the world. Not a place that I would move or bring my kid, but I have eased up on LA. I've explored around and really got to know it. I was in West Hollywood for like 5 years. I would just come land, work, and leave.
If you're only in West Hollywood, you're like, this is like, there's billboards everywhere. There's fucking.
My safe haven was Saddle Ranch. Like, that's all.
That's white trashy for sure.
I mean, look at me. Don't let the.
If my parents,
I'm
come
white
to
trash at my core.
If my
I just hope you
parents
know
are
that.
coming to LA and they're like, we got to go somewhere. I'm assuming, I'm stereotyping my own parents. They'd be like, that Saddle Ranch place, they got a bull in there. Let's check that out. You know, I was with Jelly Roll at Saddle Ranch like a year ago, like singing country karaoke.
Oh, we brought the whole team there for our last LA show, and Eden rode the bull, Damaris rode the bull, everyone rode the bull.
Yeah, there's other areas.
Yeah.
You know. And then obviously downtown's a fucking wild place.
Shit. Reason brought me around like Carson area. We went to
Reason's spots. The outro on the album, right?
Yes. That we produced with Bink and one of my favorite producers,
Bink's a legend.
Coleman, who did the intro on Cole's 85 South.
Oh,
he did.
Okay.
Or I think that's the right name of it, right? 95 North.
No, 95 North is the
Shout out to 85 South, the
that's
podcast.
That's the one with Cameron on it, right?
Yes, yeah. 95 North.
Great song.
Coleman produced that with Boy Wonder. He's, to me, one of the, probably the most talented new producer that I think everyone is going to really gravitate to soon. Even when Bink started on it, I sent it over to Coleman to help us out with like keys and other stuff. And Bink was like, yo, can I sign him? Like, this kid is incredible.
Right.
So yeah, Bink, Coleman, Reason, Sobering Thoughts in the Mondrian. It actually came from a conversation Reason and I had when he was dropping me off at the Mondrian, and we sat in the car and talked for like an hour and a half.
Great guy.
And I was like, oh, one of the best. I was like, we had another song called Reasonable Ending, which I think might be licked on YouTube at this point. People had heard it. And I said, we got to redo this. Like, let's get a whole new beat. Let's start this conversation we just had needs to be the outro. And Drake actually DM'd me and said, with a Drake-ass title like that, there better be bars on it. I don't think we disappointed. I think Reason went crazy on the shit. But yeah, we're working with Big
Do you reply and say, next album, I got something for you? Drake.
No. Because I wouldn't play myself in that regard. I just don't think that's how Drake features work.
Shout out to Drake. He's a nice guy.
Super nice guy.
He owes me a lot of money, but he's a nice guy.
Oh, yeah. Don't you guys have some bet?
He owes me money. $50,000. Yeah. He'll never pay it because I don't strike Drake as the guy to remember our conversation. It was me, him, Freddie Gibbs, and this guy at a bar.
Well, he has stake now. He can't give you like a voucher for 50 grand.
That'd be fucking sweet.
So you could bet your own.
So I could lose it.
Yeah.
You just gotta go on the Suns.
You just got to go to Turks.
Like Doc Rivers bitch ass, because I'm sure he'll be the next fucking coach and I want to kill myself.
Drake isn't low by staying in Turks. I know it's a beautiful island. There's women
Does he live in Turks?
It appears that way, and I'm just going to go for tax reasons, but that's just me.
Dude,
he bets like $1 million a day, and I'm like, you can't do that you can't do that in New York.
Listen, my thing with the stake thing,
you have to do that in Turks.
So listen,
especially if you win.
For sure. My thing with stake is, why is everyone on stake that I see betting like astronomical, like the Nelk Boys and Drake and all? I'm like, are they giving them this fucking money?
I mean, it could work in a strip club type of way. Because a lot of times, like, if you know, rappers will be booked for a strip club and they will give them a certain amount of money.
They'll give them once. Here.
But you have to throw these, like, it'll go back to the club.
It'll go back to the club.
It's for optics. So I could definitely see a world where Stake would give popular people a crazy credit where you're not going to win anything.
You're not going to pull this out, but you could bet.
You could bet it all and lose. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if you win, you're not going to get the money. I could see that. That's good PR. Especially with the betting world now. That's the new face. Jay-Z's trying to put Caesars in Times Square.